I think that's where we share stuff within the group, which is really benefits each other. And I
Mm.
think sometimes when we get into trouble, I know that I reach out to members of our coaching group probably before I'd ask my personal friends for help. Would just have that kind of mentality within that group, like, oh, this is bothering me. I know that someone in BBB is going to be able to help me. I'll just call. And I mean, we have our vent room there and crisis kind of calls that we can do within the coaching group with people that are trained to manage us in a certain way if we do have something that's really critically needs to be discussed.
Thinking about building or renovating? Or maybe you are already knee-deep in a project now. Are you feeling unsure of which steps to take and if you are making the right calls? You're not alone. Welcome to Builders Beyond Borders, the podcast where experienced Aussie builders share real stories, insider tips, and practical advice so you can build with confidence, avoid costly mistakes, and actually enjoy the journey. Let's dive in.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Builders Beyond Borders. Today, we're joined by Paul from Independent Building Solutions in Canberra and Matt from Matthew Old Builder in Warrnambool, Victoria. And I'm Shannon from DJH Builders in Tassie. Today, we're going to talk about the benefits of builders having a coaching group or some sort of coach or mentor behind them when they're running a building company. So, there's a lot of different coaches out there for different types of businesses, and some coaches sort of have more than just one industry in their groups. The group that we're from is specific to builders, so we're in with a bunch of builders from across Australia, and the coaching group that we're in is specific to builders, which makes it really easy for us to all relate to each other, I guess, with the pain points that we take to those conversations. But yeah, we're going to touch on, I guess, it's a bit of an appreciation of our coaching group, but also to discuss the benefits because I think when we signed up to Builders Business Black Belt 4.5 years ago, I didn't expect that we'd benefit so much to the point that we have. And it's not just about building. Actually, building is one of the least things that we talk about, isn't it? So,
Mm.
um, yeah. So, Matt, did you want to add? What would you like to add to that about coaching?
Oh god, where would we be without our business coach? It all started for me back, I think it was about nearly it'd be 7 year ago now, I think, if not maybe a little bit longer. I'd taken on 2 pretty big projects, straight out from being on my own, and they were the first ones that, into a contract, and it's all you feel like it's sunshine and rainbows, but it was quite the opposite. I'd priced these, jobs wrong. I'd missed out on a huge amount of labour. I didn't understand any of my expenses, overheads, all that sort of stuff. So I guess it's one thing that you never get taught. And then, I popped up on Facebook one day about BBB and I reached out. I also reached out that same day to another one because, as you know, when you reach out to one, your algorithm started pointing me in the other direction. Anyway, yeah, Mick and Julie reached out and we sat down with our interview and all that, or our catch up and all that sort of stuff. And all I did at Transformer, I'm 100% guaranteed we'd be bankrupt and wouldn't be building without them. So there's so many parts to the black belt group that are beneficial. It's not just the coach. You've got, the community, same way we've developed this podcast, like we're all friends, we're all wanting everyone to be better. A lot of our experiences that we go through, we can share with others early so that someone else doesn't have to go through that. And you can bring like all the businesses just seem to fast track really quickly and get up to speed. So I'd hate to know how much we lost on that one job, or on both jobs, but I know I look back at how much labour there was probably only 6 to 8 weeks labour on a $500,000-600,000 reno that probably should have had 6 to 8 months of labour onto it. So How did we survive? I don't know, but the coaching definitely helped.
I think that I'd say maybe the majority of people who are reaching out to a coaching group, um, and it is because of financial stress to start with, isn't it? Like that
Mm.
is one of the biggest pain points that we have. And being a building company, there's so many elements to manage. Financially, let alone every other element of running a building company. But it always is that pain point. You don't know how to get out of a situation that you're in financially. And that's when you start reaching out for help as well. And I think that's where we share stuff within the group, which is really, really benefits each other. And I
Mm.
think sometimes when we get into trouble, I know that I reach out to members of our coaching group probably before I'd ask my personal friends for help. Would just have that kind of mentality within that group, like, "Oh, this is bothering me. I know that someone in BBB is going to be able to help me. I'll just call." And I mean, we have our vent room there and crisis kind of calls that we can do within the coaching group with people that are trained to manage us in a certain way if we do have something that's really critically needs to be discussed.
How have you found it, Paul?
I was probably a little bit different. Like I was, everyone talks about the financial stress, and when you talk to Mick, he said that's the case with most people too. And with me, it wasn't so much that; it was more mindset stuff. I mean, I was probably not charging enough. I was probably giving away too much of my time to a lot of people that were actually wasting my time. So I've learned to sort of control that a bit better and try and get the profits up a little bit by charging for my time instead of being so generous to people. But it was more just mindset and dealing with people I was having problems with that made me sort of search for something to help in that area. And that's when I came across, the Builders Business Black Belt. It's about 3 years, 3.5 years ago, I think I joined. Yeah, I was having a couple of difficult clients, a couple of clients I was having a lot of trouble with. That just, and I thought, oh, there's got to be, something going on here. Why is this happening? I hadn't had a bad client in a long, long time, and then all of a sudden I got two really bad ones. And I think we attract it to ourselves if we're not in the right space, and that's where learning to just have your mindset right helped me to sort of deal with people, be more accepting, understanding, and patient. That was my biggest problem too, and I was always trying to do too much, so I'd get impatient, I'd get stressed out about stuff, and then you'd be in a bad mood, and it just rubs off on everyone all the way down the line. And
Mm.
when you can be relaxed and try and be calm and deal with things the right way and take the right approaches, life's a whole lot easier. So, and that's what I've found the last few years. Just in a personal life as well as business life, the calm and relaxed sort of life that I've got now that I didn't have 10 years ago is complete opposite, really. So, yeah, that's just been a real game changer for me because now and I enjoy my work a lot more. I enjoy my work a lot. I don't think I was enjoying it at all, much at all. Um, and it probably would have given it away. I was at that point where I was thinking about looking for something else or just working part time or sort of semi retiring and getting out of it. But now I've been inspired to keep going and I'm keener than ever and I'm enjoying it more than ever. So, and now I don't want to retire ever. I want to keep going. I want to keep doing it forever because I've got the flexibility and the freedom and sort of everything working really well for me at the moment. So it's been, yeah, it's a whole new ball game. We've just and being in the community with all you guys and all the others has given us that understanding that everyone's going through the same thing. Everyone's in the same boat. We're not out on our own and we're not alone. We've got plenty of support, plenty of people to talk to, and plenty of people that are going through the same things or have gone through the same things. And then we're there to help others when they're going through something we've been through as well. So, and we all want to be there to support each other. And that's just the best part about it, really, I think.
It's funny
Mm.
what you say about the couple of black bad clients and stuff like that. I as soon as you said it, I was like, oh my god. That at the start, I was blaming the clients, saying that, oh, it was this and it was that, and they're an asshole for this and for that. But this is one thing that we've been taught about the level 5 listening and positioning ourselves as the authority and all this sort of stuff, where you then get to understand the client from their perspective. It can turn a really bad experience of something that's bubbling away and then all of a sudden, it's back on track, and then you're moving forward again. So it's definitely another advantage to it, to having a business coach, I believe, especially one that, like, it's not just one dimensional, that where we're building systems and processes. Like, there's people in the group that can do that, but that mindset and the understanding, like as Mick said, if you're not right in the head now, how can you expect to be right for your clients and for your team and all that sort of stuff?
That's right. And with the pain points that we have before we approach a coach, it's about stabilizing, isn't it? And then, like with the blueprint program, within Builders Business Blackbelt, it's addressing those three pain points that we've talked about:
Mm.
financial, quality clients,
Yep.
and personal success, looking after yourself and doing it on a regular basis. So, and that's about, because it can feel like you're in such a whirlwind when you're like, I want to stop. I don't want to do this anymore. I'll just go and get a job. Or I don't know how we're going to get out of this financial hole. And I'm just sick of being treated like rubbish. Or why do I always get the bad clients? By then going, well, scrap it back to basics and work on those foundations and just start building up again and go, oh, I was looking at it completely the wrong way. Or the financial, use this system. Oh, that's really simple. And just step by step, you can claw back again and make
'Cause
such fast
it
improvement.
it's a hard thing to get out of too, in with your mindset stuff. When you go down that rabbit warren or rabbit hole, whatever the saying is, where your mind is just going, deep, you start looking for reasons as to why you feel the way you do, which only compounds the problem. And then, before you know it, you're looking at the end of it going, "Oh, I've had enough of this. I want out. I'll just go and, like you said, go and get a job and just go and work for someone else. It'd be so much easier," and all that sort of stuff. But if you can bring yourself back a little bit and then start looking at it in a different way, you can transform it pretty quick.
There's also a lot of different coaching groups out there. So our group focuses a lot on mindset, which then filters back to the other elements that we talk about. But there are other coaching groups. There's a lot of coaching groups out there for all sorts of different things. So it's important to understand too that there are other groups for different purposes as well. But I think we keep coming back to those fundamentals, that mindset. If your mindset is not on track, then the rest of it doesn't fall into place. So what you're learning isn't being absorbed if you're thinking those dark thoughts and compounding them by, this always happens to me, you know, mindset's so powerful. Do you agree with that?
Mm.
Yeah, well, it's understanding how to deal with the situations, isn't it? And, difficult clients and things like that if you're having problems in certain areas, I wasn't dealing with it the right way. I could have dealt with it all a lot better than what I did, and I've sort of learnt all that now. And so now you know how to sort of defuse those things a lot easier, and or sort those issues out before they become an issue, sort of thing. It's just that
Mm.
just doing things in the right area, right order, and the right approach, and not letting things stew and put your head in the sand and hope it'll go away, which I was sort of guilty of doing a lot, and it doesn't go away. It only compounds, doesn't it? So yeah, that's where it's been a real game changer for me.
So
It's
even the thing we were talking about before we got on this call, on the podcast, like the position we're in at the moment with, closing out a job and, expectation versus reality and all these types of scenarios that are happening. The old me would have already flipped, and then it sours the project, the experience, and the relationship with the client, which we've got a really good one. So there's really good ways of being able to just keep a lid on it and stay calm. And whereas I hear all the time of, guys saying, "Oh, this client's an asshole and that one's done this, and look at how much I've lost on this, and why won't he pay the variations or the extras on this?" And it just seems to get out of hand really quickly if you don't quite know how to deal with it.
it's and we were saying as well, by doing larger projects, so we could be in and out of their daily lives for, you know, a long time, and tempers kind of fray, and it's a matter of managing that while you're still trying to get that job completed as best you can. It can be, interesting time. So it's about being on the same side of the table as our clients and working together. And it is, we're psychologists. We're trained psychologists now, aren't we?
It's pretty interesting, isn't it? Because and then that's the other thing, learning that everyone's different and you've got to learn to sort of deal with people differently because everyone is different. Because it's quite funny how you get that, and you get some people that are, you've been there 6 months or 12 months. It's, oh, I'm going to miss you when you're gone. It's kind of not going to be the
Yeah.
same without you. It's going to be sad when you go. And then you got the other ones who are like, oh, I wish you'd hurry up and get out of here because you're
Yeah.
driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Like everyone, some people really can put up with it. Some people are quite okay and enjoy it, the process. Some people just can't stand it, can't live with it. So everyone's different, aren't they? And that's what we've got to learn to understand. That different approach to different people, and just some people require a lot more communication, a lot more nurturing, lot more helping along the way, so that they understand the process. Some people are just not really that interested at all. They just want to go to work every day and come home and see progress. So,
Mm,
um, yeah, so that's been the big learning curve, which has been good for me.
mm,
The other thing with, or that I like about the, BBB is that he's got a qualify process now for the right people. Sounds bad, but just for the right people to come in that are similar to us, or what we were at the start, and he protects the people, like the community is obviously his biggest asset, and he knows now that, he's got to protect that and make sure that we're helping them, they're helping us, because a lot of us are at the stage now where we're starting to teach the new ones that are coming in,
mm,
and then that becomes that, that nurture sort of thing that we're able to help him with, which I find really valuable. I've been to a couple of the blueprint sessions on the Thursday morning, and I find it very invigorating to be able to have the knowledge, that these guys need as newbies coming into the group, and being able to help them out, and then like, that must fast track them so quickly,
mm,
but then it's also that qualify step to be able to get into black belt, so,
mm.
um, I really like that part. What do you guys think of the momentum calls?
I was about to say, I think the Friday one, Mick goes on about how important it is every week, and I just think to myself, I actually think it is, but it's only been since, I've struggled, not struggled, but sometimes maybe I haven't shown up to a Tuesday because, the week's been a bit off or whatever, and we all fall off the wagon, all of us. Um, but I think that those Friday calls, especially if you've had a bad week, and if you can jump on that Friday because they're our feel good Friday calls, just for you to find something that's been good in your week to talk about. And then it can just completely change your focus from, if you're having a bad week, focusing on everything that's been going wrong or the pressure you're under. If you can just find one little glimmer of light, it I think it's super helpful.
It's like
Uh,
closing a chapter of the week, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Going, this week was predominantly shit, but this one good thing that happened, look at that. I'm focusing on it. I'm putting my attention on it. I think it's super powerful.
Mm.
Mm,
I find it puts you in a good frame of mind. It does with me anyway. You sort of leave with a bit of spring in your step, and it sends you off in a good mood for the weekend because there's always a few positive. Well, it's all pretty positive of a Friday. Positive stories and a few laughs, and it's just great to catch up with everyone. And because it's the end of the week, it's just got a nice feel about it. The Friday call we have, so yeah, I really enjoy it. I jump on there a lot of the time thinking, "Oh, wins and lessons for the week. I go, what have I done? Well, surely I've done something," but I haven't sort of come up with anything anyway, but I still just get on there and something comes to you or you start thinking about what you've been doing. So it makes you reflect anyway. So you're not
mm,
really thinking about the previous week and what you've done until that time and then think, "Oh, what have I done this week?" And you start to go over it in your mind and think about it. No, has been a good week, and there's been a lot of positives and the things that you wouldn't normally think about if you weren't getting on that call. You'd just be sort of keeping on going with your day. So
Gets you out of the rat race, doesn't it?
yeah,
'Cause your
yeah.
mind's constantly just in work mode, work mode, work, and then you think, like, there's always negative things that happen during the week, or the way we perceive them as negative, but then that Friday, yeah, I've seen a couple of people, even myself, I've done it heaps of times, where you sort of look at I've got an alarm that goes off on my phone, and, you think at 10 to 11, and it's like, "Right, ready for that," and then I'm trying to think, "Right, what's something good that's happened this week again that's happened?" And it's like, sometimes you just can't think of it, but then when it's your turn to talk, it just happens, and then,
Yeah.
like you said, Paul, that focus then goes to the good stuff, and I don't think I've ever come off a momentum call on a Friday where I'm still thinking of the lessons or the things that have gone bad for the week. So as I said before, I reckon it's a really good chapter to close out and then focus on the good stuff. The other good thing is they were brought on by, COVID. So I think we were doing them every single day there for a while, when COVID was on, and even that in itself, to have the consistency and, I don't know if belief's the right word, or trust, because we're in such an uncertain environment with COVID. No one knew what was gonna happen to the building industry and all that sort of stuff, and then all of a sudden, we've got this coach that's sitting there going, "No, we're gonna do momentum calls every single day for an hour," and then all of a sudden, these have been born from that, and I
Yeah.
I believe they're the most powerful part of the week, the Tuesday and the Friday.
Yep. Because sometimes I think it's a massive pattern interrupt as well. If you can
Yeah.
just, yeah,
Mm.
go, in my head, I'm busy, so busy. If I can just jump on and it just completely diverts your attention that way, and you're going, "Oh, it's the best." It can motivate you to keep going for the rest of the week, that Tuesday one.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah.
we need that. That's why I think it's puts you in a good frame of mind, because you need to, like you say, get out of the rat race and break that pattern, because otherwise we wouldn't do it. We'd just be, because as you know, running a business, you're working 24/7 anyway, or you're sort of trying not to, but it's always going around and around, isn't it, in your head? And it's hard to switch off at times. It helps a lot. That sort of thing helps you switch off quite a lot.
And you learn so much in the early days, but as you go through the coaching, I think, Mick had shared a stat that the average person spends 9 months in a coaching group, and I
Mm.
think our average is 11 years. So we're either stupid, or I don't know what's going on, or it's good.
Some of
But,
us are slow learners.
yeah, slow learners. Um, but yeah, when like, I think that first 12 months, you learn so much in black belt, and then, um sometimes it can feel like, "Oh, no, I've heard that before," and feel a bit repetitive, but it's those little, what we call gold nuggets, that you'll find in a call that can just trigger something, a massive idea, or our, I think, yeah, it seems it's just the way that you see it. It's the way that you interpret it. And we also have our catch-ups as well in person, which we've got coming up soon, which is cool.
You guys both
Oh.
coming up to the, yeah, well, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other, thing that I was just gonna say about the, momentum calls and what it can do, is you can feel like your business and your mind might be a little bit too far, forward, or one part of it might be a little bit too far forward than the other, and in order to catch up both parts of it, or whatever it is that needs work on, you almost have to go not back to the start, but you can familiarize yourself with, your PSR and your pedal and all these things that are the pillars of why we do it. Sometimes, by identifying what it is that needs work, it's normally one of those things you need to come right back to the start, put a bit more effort into that, or like the fundamentals, and sharpen that, and then all of a sudden everything else just starts catching up.
Mm.
So, and that's one area that I get out of the blueprint program on the Thursday. I've missed the last couple because I've been on site, but when I was there, I really found, oh shit, there's, like, I'm preaching about some of these things to these guys. Actually, I need to go back a little bit and actually fine tune that.
Mm.
So, do you guys find that?
Yeah, I know I do. Sometimes I get a bit lazy with things like financial stuff, and I go, "Oh god," and I get back on track and suddenly it just fixes things. It's like, why do we drop off? Is it like a self-sabotage thing? I don't know. I don't know why. It's
Could
so
be a thing,
simple.
not, and I know arrogance isn't the right word to be using, but it
Mm,
could just be comfort that
yep.
you're cruising along and just think you've got your handle on it, and then normally something comes up and bites you on the ass, and it whether it's team management, or leadership, client the quality client pathway, or your own mindset, those 3 pillars are normally something's off.
Mm,
If there's something rearing its head with that, it normally means you gotta go back to the start and just fine tune something and bring it all up to speed, and then all of a sudden, it might just be, you know, your PSR might be off or your pedal might be off or whatever it is, and then you bring it up to speed and you can fast track it pretty quick. So they're good skills to have.
they are, and I think we get to a point where we go, "All right, what's missing?" When you start to feel, you can actually get to know that feeling that I'm missing something. I've dropped off on my PSR. I need to get back on.
Which is where those, like you said, the vent call or the vent room, like,
Mm.
you start giving evidence to the right people, even in the community. Like, I use, Wayno a lot. I, probably use him for a vent call far too often, um, and then he always offers advice, but I find it's very good to get it out, and then he'll just go, "Yeah, your pedal's off," or "Have you been working on your mindset lately?" or "Have you been, doing this and doing that?" Like, that's the one thing that I value the most is the community that we're a part of. Like, to be able to just ring someone on the other side of the country and blurt out that this is your problem, and then they go, "Yeah, why aren't you doing this? Or why aren't you
Yeah.
doing that?" It's like, "Oh, yeah, shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
we
gotta
all
get
go
back to
back
that."
to the
So,
same foundations.
yeah.
Slow learners.
Well, Wayno's the sort of guy that always puts you in a good frame of mind, though, isn't he? Because of his sense of humour. Like, he'll, crack a few jokes and tell you as it is. Like, there's
Tell
no
you how it
beating around the
is.
bush. He'll tell you as it is, and that's what you
The
need to
one
hear. And the
thing that
way he
he
comes across just always makes you laugh. So then, all
yeah,
of a sudden, you're off on the front foot straight away, aren't you?
he did it today. Like, I was not doom and gloom, but I rang him, or he rang me back from yesterday or whenever it was, and we were having a chat, and he's, "What's up?" And I blurted it out, and he goes, like, he, said a couple of things, and then we were just laughing about it, and, you know, you know what you have to do, but it's very comforting knowing that you've got the right people around you to be able to help you out when you need it. Because
Yeah.
I think as builders, and this is where that 3 quote system has probably gone to detriment of building relationships with other builders.
Mm,
So I know that there's builders in Warrnambool and surrounds that don't like quoting against other people, and, I wanna win that job over you and all this sort of stuff. Like, if they all realise that there's enough work out there for everyone, and no one needs to be greedy, and you can share it around, you've got a really good community in each town with the builders if they all work together
mm.
to be able to and not have that competitive,
Us and them.
um yeah, like it's a prize that you've got to win by winning the job or whatever. It's just, well, we're all here to help each other out and share the workload, and everyone would benefit from it.
Mm,
The same way we do with Black Belt.
yeah. No, it's, definitely an important thing, and it is a very common, occurrence now. It's not unusual to, reach out for help and find professionals that can assist you with that sort of stuff. It's just a bonus that we have one that just does it for builders, so it
Yeah,
works really well. Oh,
But that's
thank
the other good thing too with the community. Like, if you need help in any other area, there's someone in there that will have a recommendation or will have been through something before who can point you in the right direction or get you some help that you need in whatever area you're looking for. So that's been another thing that's been a big help in a lot of different areas across the board, personally and business wise when you've needed, even just like you talk about with all the the automation stuff we do and the software we run and all the resources we need. And there's all that sort of stuff as well as, and there's always someone who's got a recommendation, or there's a few, so you can shop around and you can test the waters on a few different areas and get support from people who've used certain products or services, whatever the case may be. So it just saves you a lot of time too. You don't have to research so much yourself if you've got that as well, which has been a big help too.
Yeah, and
The
most
most
of
of
the
the time sorry, Shannon, most of the
yeah.
time, people have built a system that you need.
Mm,
Yeah.
So, it's just a matter of getting on the phone and just going, "Oh, I'm struggling with this." Yep, bang, it's in your email, and then you've got it. So, what were you gonna say, Shannon?
I was gonna say it's mostly all online anyway now. Any kind of help that you need,
Yep.
like, there's people out there everywhere, especially since COVID, and we have our yeah, it's all online except for our face-to-face catch-ups, which we go to. So it's yeah, it's it's absolutely worth the investment. I think that we've yeah, the financial element, I think we've made it back tenfold by following the systems but it's about following the systems as well. And then, as we said, falling off the bandwagon and jumping back on and just being really regimented with what we do, with just following our systems and processes to be successful.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, I think you make the money back anyway. That's what you start to realise over time. Like a lot of people won't dive in because they're worried about expense. Oh, and I can't afford it. It's too much money and all this sort of thing. But
Mm,
if you like you say, follow the process and get things working properly, I think you get it back, tenfold, don't you?
yep, absolutely.
The other big thing I reckon, which I've learnt how to do, I used to keep my cards close to my chest, whereas I think in an environment, and this is credit to what Mick and Julie have created, is, being able to be open and vulnerable so that you can put all the cards on the table and say, "This is the problem, and this is how I'm feeling about it. I need help." And
Mm,
then all of a sudden someone's there to be able to help it out. But that environment, like if it wasn't, non-judgmental and all that, so you wouldn't be able to do it. So whereas, and I don't know what other coaching groups are like. I'm just glad I found this one because, as I said, we wouldn't be in this situation we're in now if of running a successful business and having the time freedom and leadership skills and stuff like that, and that grows into your personal life as well. So yeah, it's got a massive flow-on effect.
mm, sure
Mm.
does. All right, thanks, boys. We'll wrap it up. And if there's anyone out there who wants some information about our coaching group or just any advice or any more questions about it, please feel free to send us a message and reach out. But thank you for your time, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to Builders Beyond Borders. If today's episode helped you feel more prepared, clearer, or more confident, share it with a mate who's planning their own build or reno. Got a question about building, renovating, or working with tradies? Send it our way. We might cover it in a future episode. And don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss the real stories, practical tips, and builder insights we've got coming your way. Everything shared on this podcast is based on our experiences and those of our guests. It's general info only. Any reliance on the information provided is done at your own risk.